Hi everybody, welcome back to In The Kitchen Realty channel. We're going to cover everything you need to know about buying a new construction home. We will break down all the costs involved and the big mistakes to avoid. These insights can save you time, money, and most of all, a lot of headaches. I'm Bob Schiller, owner and broker of In The Kitchen Realty and Exceptional Mortgages, which is partners with Rocket Mortgage. And I have helped hundreds of clients buy and sell tons of homes over the past 15 years. If you're new here, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. All right, let's get into it. So first off, let's talk about understanding all the costs involved in new construction homes. One of the first things that you'll encounter when you look at a new construction home is the base price, which is kind of like the base price of a car if you've gone car shopping, and I'm sure you have at some point. So this can look very appealing because it's a very low price, but it is just the base price. It includes the basic structure of the home and the basic standard finishes. However, the final price of the home can be much higher, and that's due to structural options, upgraded finishes, lot premiums, and all kinds of other things like that. It's important to understand that the base price is just the starting point. To get a realistic idea of what you will end up paying, ask the builder for a breakdown of all the costs on a sheet and what all the upgrades are. Okay, so now speaking of upgrades, let's get into what all the upgrades are. These are the main factors that can drive up the cost of a new home. So upgrades are things like new flooring or custom countertops or custom cabinets or all kinds of things. While it's very tempting to go all out on all the upgrades, you got to remember to keep your budget at least somewhat in mind. Some upgrades offer much better returns on your investment than others, so choose wisely. It's also worth noting that a lot of builders offer packages of upgrades and discount the package. So be sure to ask for any available packages that will give you the upgrades you want at a significant discount. Another significant cost to consider are the closing costs. So these are the fees that are associated with your closing and can include things like attorney fees and title fees and insurance and things like that. Closing costs can add up to several $1,000s, so make sure you find out about all of them. Some builders do offer incentives to deal with closing costs. I've seen as much as $10,000 or $15,000, so that's worth asking about as well. So property taxes and HOA fees are another thing to keep in mind for your budget. Property taxes are based on the assessed value of your home, and they can vary widely depending on your location, and they are usually included in your mortgage payment. Homeowners association fees are real common in new construction communities, and they cover the cost of maintaining the common areas and amenities. These fees can range from several $100s to several thousand, so it's worth looking into and understanding what they are all about, how much they are, what they cover, and whether or not they're going to be added on to your mortgage, which sometimes they can be. So be sure to ask your real estate agent or your builder all about these HOA fees and about the taxes so you can make sure you budget for them. While new construction homes will cost significantly less for ongoing maintenance, it's still important to think about that and to figure out for the long term what you need to budget for those maintenance items as well. Like roofs or HVAC, even though they won't be for a while, you should be prepared for them. Some builders will offer extended warranties that will cover those, so you want to look into that and see exactly what the warranties cover and how long that is for. All of these costs may be covered, so that's very important for your peace of mind and worth looking into. So that will give you a good idea of all the costs of new construction homes. Now we're going to take a look at what are the really big mistakes to avoid and how can you avoid them. The first mistake is not researching the builder thoroughly. This is very important. You want to know exactly who you're working with. Look for reviews on things like Yelp or Google reviews, as well as if there are any complaints with the Better Business Bureau, that kind of thing, that will help you get an idea of ratings and reviews and what people really think of this builder. Pay attention to any recurring complaints or red flags that you see often. You also can check to see if the builder is a member of an association like the National Home Builders Builders Association, because that will give you an idea of the kind of quality that that builder usually builds with. A good reputation and a solid track record will give you a much better, much smoother home buying experience. The next mistake you want to avoid is not looking at the fine print in the contract. I know it's hard to read and a real pain in the neck, but it is worth it to make sure that you read it or that you take it to a lawyer or somebody else to really look at the fine print. You want to pay attention especially to, in the fine print, to the warranties, the timelines, all that kind of thing. If you're unsure about anything, just ask the builder, ask the builder's representative, or go to your lawyer. Remember, a contract is fully legally binding, so make sure that you pay attention and understand everything that you're reading, especially before you sign on the dotted line. Another common mistake that we've sort of touched on before is overlooking the cost of upgrades. While the base price may seem very attractive, as we said, the cost of upgrades can raise the price significantly. And it's easy to get carried away with customizations because they look so terrific and sound great, and you want to do all that for your family, but it is also important to keep the budget that you came with in mind and try to stick to that. Some upgrades do offer a better return on investment than others, so make sure that you choose wisely. So before you commit, make sure you understand what each upgrade will cost and how much that's going to affect your budget and the overall price. You have to consider the development of the future area around there as well, so that's another big mistake to avoid. It is important to know what is planned for the area because that will affect the future value of your home. Not to mention your quality of life and your family's quality of life. Check with the local planning departments to see what is coming up in terms of schools or highways or parks or that kind of thing, or new developments and especially new shopping centers and all that kind of thing. Being informed about future developments can help you make or avoid making a strategic mistake, so it's worth a little extra effort in the research department. Finally, even though you might not think it because it's a brand new home, you really do want to get an inspection with an independent inspector that you know you've Googled and looked at the reviews or your agent has recommended. A home inspection like that, which is only a few $100, can uncover some issues that may have gone completely unnoticed by the naked eye. So even though homes are built to the latest modern standards, mistakes can happen. They are being built very rapidly. Some homes can be built in as little as 4 months from start to finish. So you know some mistakes can happen that way. So an inspector will prevent that, or at least point out as many mistakes as possible. An inspection ensures that everything is up to code and there are no hidden problems. So it's a small investment that can save you from costly repairs down the road. So always get an independent inspection before you close on your new home. Okay, so there you have it, an understanding of what all the costs are that go into your new construction home, as well as any big mistakes to avoid. From researching your builder and understanding the contracts to budgeting for home inspections, as well as upgrades, will all help you make a much more informed decision that you will be comfortable with and your family will be comfortable with for years to come. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anybody that you know who is maybe in the market for a new home, as well as ringing the bell for new notifications of when our next video is. Have a great day.